Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I've shared with others which I've learned from her in terms of communicating with our animals. I even just last night, I'm on the couch, my daughter's sitting there, two cats are running around, and they're next to us as well. And I even told her, how to communicate, which I've done it with her advice. And we're going to learn even more today. Yes, she can communicate with animals, and she can show you how to do that as well. Holly Starr joins us here again on the program. How you doing today?
Sharing Lucy's story with everybody today.
And this is who?
Lucy is a Shih Tzu who was at Susan Mew's rescue. She came to them in the springtime, and I started working with her in the spring. She has since transitioned, and so I want to share her full story with you and the lessons that she has provided the rescue and their followers.
Wow. I honestly can't wait to hear.
Yes. She's beautiful. You will love her. I want to get through her whole story. We have about 20 minutes, so I will keep moving forward here. So I'm going to share my screen. Good. All right. So this is Lucy. This is how I met Lucy. This is what I went into our first communication session with. All I knew about Lucy was, quote unquote, we have some health concerns. All right. Yeah. Okay. So Lucy, in our first communication session, started in on, what she wanted for her life in the rescue. She had been dumped in a neighborhood, and that is how she ended up at the rescue. Okay. So this is what Lucy wanted to do.
And so are you wanting a specific job right now within your home? Okay. That's cool. So she's wanting, it feels like more of like a title, like a nickname type of title, more than a nickname, but yeah, like a title, it feels like, of, like Lucy the caretaker or whatever you come up with. But, some type of, so she wants her job to be more of like caretaker, caring, giving, like that type of vibe with it. So is there any specific?
Okay. So she was all about, in this first message, she's all about like taking care of others and things like that. But she was still in this state of health crisis. Okay. So keep this in mind as we move forward in her story. She is expressing this want to care for others, give to others. And now we move on in the session to her body scan.
Nasal and drainage down. I feel that. Sometimes this is causing almost like when we would have like a sinus headache and we get some facial pressure with that. It can cause some pressure on her jaw, like maybe not pressure is the right word, but some agitation, some sensitivity and stuff. And we'll go above. Yeah, and there are days where that's also making her feel a bit tired, a bit foggy and stuff in the head.
Okay, so here she's talking about her teeth, her jaw being agitated, and she's bringing up like a bunch of drainage in her nasal passages. And later in this session, with the body scan still, she comes in with a lot more information as well.
She might need to pee right now, actually. Her bladder feels like it's full, like there's pressure. Does your bladder feel like that always, or is it just? And so you feel like you hold your bladder. Why do you feel that's what she's used to? Okay. So no.
Okay, so here Lucy is expressing just this sensation in her bladder that's pretty much always there for her. It was coming into me at the time as pressure, as a fullness. She did not complain of pain at that time, though.
Wow.
bringing up her reproductive organs. Have you had babies before? So it feels like almost like she gets almost like some cramping or something. Ovaries are coming in. Um, you'll have to let me know if something is known about her reproductive organs, because this is just it's like it's like they're just she's just feeling some physical pains from them. It feels like this. Okay, sweetie. Um, yeah, kind of makes me like sister or something. That's odd. Is there anything else with that, Lucy? I'm having a hard time getting like a full grasp on what you're showing. Okay, she doesn't really have a full grasp on it either. She's just yeah, I understand. So she's just sharing the sensation that she gets and where she feels like it's coming from. Okay.
Okay, so in that clip, it was really overwhelming. It was kind of coming in from all different directions. And as you can see, I'm like trying to process everything that was happening. And the overarching feelings were these pains in her ovaries and just pain. And the word cyst came in. And so after this session, I immediately contacted Lucretia, her mommy at the rescue, and was like, is anything known about her reproductive system? Is anything going on? And she said, yes, we're treating her for a mammary gland tumor. And sorry, I have a little thing popping up on my screen here. There we go. Okay, so this is Lucy's mammary tumor that they were working on shrinking. And with all of this messaging about pain in the ovaries, pain in the reproductive system, they brought her in within just a few days to have surgery on the tumor. While they were in, they found another tumor on one ovary and a cyst on the other ovary. And then they found 8 other lumps within that same area. So it shed a lot of light on, oh my gosh, why is this so overwhelming? Okay, so
Wow.
she had the surgery. She also had teeth pulled. She had some issues going on with the teeth, as she had said. She also had a infection going on in her nasal passages, which is why she was complaining about those as well earlier in that session.
Did you have any inkling about, let's go with the nasal passage situation? Or
Mhm.
did you have any idea leading into this, or you were just picking up on it and then it got validated?
Right. No. So, working with clients, and Lucretia does a really good job of this at the rescue. I don't really like to know much of anything going in, because that way I go in completely free of mind and open to anything that they send in. So within the body scan, I'm able to simply feel the energy and hear the messages coming through and share that. I
Wow.
don't need anything else.
Was this, was she more, I want to say the word verbal, but that's not the right word. More than the usual animal? Or is this pretty standard? Like I'm looking at you
It's
in that video and you're trying to process. It's almost like she's firing information out and you're like, whoa, wait, hey, whoa, I'm still on the last
yes,
one. Now you got another one coming out. Is that normally how it works, or she just really had a lot to send to you?
right. That can be very normal.
Okay.
But in addition to that, she had a lot going on. and she was very aware of every part of it. So she did an excellent job of telling me all of the things that were happening. So yes, it's normal, but she also did an excellent job.
Wow. Um,
Yes.
what was learned here um, by the staff? So the nasal situation, they weren't aware of that. You brought that to their attention based on your communication. What else?
All of it that they found in that surgery. They found it during that. So they knew
Wow.
about the mammary gland tumor and they had been working on shrinking that prior to surgery, which is why surgery had not happened quite yet. But once she complained of pain with me, then they went in and and that's when everything was found.
Wow. Some of this blow you away, or is this just another day?
It blows me away. I play almost every day because I'm very aware of the energy. I see it all the time. I feel it all the time, but I am still a human. I'm in physical form. So these things constantly blow my mind. And I'm like, Holly, you shouldn't be this surprised.
I I can't imagine the responsibility that you must feel in doing what you do because you need to, accurately, especially the medical situation here. Um, has there been times where other things have been revealed that you needed to pass on to either um, the person who brought you to the pet or a doctor?
Yes, yes. I mean, I leave that with the pet parent on what to do with information gained. But yes, there have been times definitely where I want to say, they need to be seen immediately. And that is a big responsibility. So,
Wow.
um, yes,
Hmm.
and I want to continue with Lucy's story. I know we're
Sure,
only at 10 minutes, so I want to
sure.
make sure that she is heard here. So she had talked about the caregiving aspect within her and wanting to do that. And so she had the surgery, she's healing up, and now Lucretia at the rescue started to see more and more of that caring caregiver in her. So this is just a little clip. They had these little puppies around that time, and this is how Lucy was with everybody there. She took care of them. Okay, and the next clip is her actually taking care of her mommy as well. And so you can just see her love and her gentleness in
Wow.
these videos. She is just beautiful. And this is Lucretia, the mommy at the rescue. Very, very caring as well.
Wow. Just,
Okay,
so,
so
just
that's
this,
how, yeah, go ahead.
what a sweetie.
Yes.
Okay.
That is how she spent the next couple of months. And then the vets found this large mass in her bladder. So this is the bladder right here. This is the mass. And this was what was causing Lucy to feel that fullness in her bladder 2 months prior. Now, enough time had passed that the mass had grown, and Lucretia was given the information of this and the information that eventually this mass is going to block urine from being eliminated, and those toxins will make their way up to the brain. This
Wow.
was a really, really hard blow because Lucy wasn't going to be able to go back into surgery. She had issues with the anesthesia during the first surgery, and she wasn't going to be able to go back in. So we decided to get her in for some end of life discussions once they started seeing the signs of the toxicity hitting her brain. So this is a clip from that.
She is showing wanting to go to what would be like a lake or a pond, some type of body of water. It does not look like a river. It looks like it's more sedentary water. But and there's really nothing much that she wants there. She just wants a quiet visit to a body of water.
Okay, so this is one particular thing that she asked for in that session, is going to that body of water.
Anything else, sweet Lucy? She's like, pet me, pet me, pet me. She is not asking or needing a whole lot. She is so happy. You guys have given her just a wonderful end part of her life. No matter what she experienced before, it's like she understands that she is with family, that she's loved, that she's safe. Trust is coming through right now. She's like, a huge lesson she has learned with the experience of being with you guys is trust. And she says it's such a gift to be able to learn that lesson and not leave this life without having learned that lesson with you guys. So really, it's just a continuation of many, 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 many pets.
Okay, and that's a big lesson that she learned because she's old. She was old when she came into the rescue. Her life had not been great. She had been dumped. And so she wanted to share that lesson with those guys. Now, a few days later, Lucretia did bring her to the lake. And this is them at the lake. She shared this online as a live on Facebook. And when she was here with Lucy, she told me she was really nervous walking there. She went there alone. She didn't know the place, and she doesn't like to go places like that and try to navigate everything and stuff like that. And Lucy just kind of led her. It was like as soon as they got to the spot, Lucy was like, "This is it. Sit down." And she told Lucretia, I wanted to bring you here for you. This isn't for me. This is for you. This is for a place for you to go to and feel the peace that we feel right now, be able to connect with me and to simply take care of yourself and be whole in this space. This was an absolutely beautiful live. It touched a lot of people's hearts. It was such a huge message, a huge lesson from Lucy, given, just a few days before her transition was scheduled.
What did you hear and or learn from Lucy about transitioning? What did she ever share with you? Was she afraid? What was she thinking?
Show you. This is what Lucy did on her transition day. She was absolutely gorgeous. In her pink dress, she did a little photo shoot with Lucretia. They had her appointment outside. She got to eat her special meal with Lucretia on this nice little laid out bed. She was so ready. I did energy therapy with her that morning to prepare her body and her soul for the transition out. And she was just so at peace. It was such an incredible feeling, just simple peace and excitement of what's to come and everything like that. Lucretia said that when the transition actually happened and her heart had stopped beating and everything, she said that all the dogs at the rescue that were inside, they just started barking and howling and like a send-off for her. Just beautiful, beautiful. And again, this was shared with people on Facebook in a private way. And these are just some photos of Lucy. So people got to celebrate her during her transition as well. And it's just, I I cannot understand in my human brain the amount of lessons and how deep her lessons went, because there were so many people involved, you know? And I know my lessons, I've heard some of Lucretia's lessons, and then there's hundreds, thousands of people on Facebook following Lucy's story. And they have learned their lessons.
Mm.
It's just incredible.
It's not just a dog. It's a beautiful soul.
Absolutely. Yes.
Did she and other animals look at the transition as I'm going someplace else? Not like sad, I'm going to miss you and things like that. Is it just another destination?
Correct. Yes. It is a feeling of going home.
Hmm.
It's a feeling of just comfort, peace. There's a lot of feelings of I'm ready to get out of my physical body. Help me do this so that I can experience peace, so that I can go into the afterlife and just have fun. And then I can continue on from there as far as next life goes. Most
Hmm.
of the time, I find that they are excited about this once that time is there.
Do they think or assume that they'll see their person again someday? Or will be connected to them even when they've transitioned over? Are they thinking that, well, you're going to hear from me again. Don't worry about it. I'll be sending my energy's around. It's not going anywhere.
Yes, yes. They send signs. You and I have talked about signs many times before. They
Sure.
do send signs, and some of them do and want to stick around and continue to help. And so their spirit will simply stay around, visit often, and all of those things, but have that peace of being in spirit.
Wow. This just illustrates we all have a purpose, right? That's the
Mhm.
belief of many. And there was a movie that came out, A Dog's Purpose. Um, it is crystal clear here what Lucy's purpose is and was. I'm going to say is because we're still talking about her and
Yes,
learning from her.
is.
Wow. It's we underestimate our animals. Yes, they can't talk. Well, they can, but we don't understand their language until we understand their language and
Yes.
what is being received. You've learned it. You have that ability. As I've learned from you, we all can pick up on things.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yep. And as I've seen, just going back to Lucretia, Lucy's mom, as the months have gone by doing these sessions with the rescue dogs, I am starting to hear Lucretia say after our sessions, "Oh, I thought that was going on. I thought I heard that message."
Wow.
I was picking up on that. So she's starting to see this as well in her own abilities. She's really starting to connect in with that innate ability.
So amazing. Um,
Yes.
if anybody has an animal they want to connect with using your expertise and help, Holly, what's the best way to contact you?
Yes. So my website is hollyjoystarr.com, HOLLYJOYSTARR.com. And then you can find me on Facebook, Holly Starr Animal Communicator.
Thank you for sharing everything today. When you said you were going to do it, I had no idea where we were going with this and the depth of what was going to be involved. And the lessons learned are many, and also our appreciation. Like anybody listening or watching this that has an animal, I got to believe that you can't wait to hug them. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Um,
Yes.
there's, it runs deeper than I ever expected.
Oh, yes. It's beautiful. It is
Yeah,
the epitome of beauty and love.
amazing. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon, okay?
You're welcome. See you later.
We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.